Hello everybody, I am Sujata Das, Solution Specialist at Idealico. Today, we are going to take a look at Business by Design demo. In this session, we'll look at a simple procure-to-pay process flow where an employee creates a RFQ from an existing item catalog, creates a quote, sends it to the bidder, the winning quote results in a purchasing contract, then he creates a purchase order, a good receipt, an invoice, and finally the payment. Now let's log in. Once we log in, we are going to go to sourcing and contracting and then to RFQs and quotes. New RFQ. Now we are going to put a description to our RFQ, put a submission deadline, date and time. Now here we can control how we want our RFQ to behave, whether we want quotes for all the items, whether we want the bidders to add items to our quotation or even change the submitted code. Then I'm going to go next to define my items. I'm going to select a catalog which is already there in the system. So these are the two categories. I'm going to select accessories. So these are the list of items which are already there present in the catalog. I'm going to select a table webcam, notebooks, and a calendar refill. Now I can go and see the items which I have already selected. I can even remove any of the items if I don't need it for my RFQ. I'm going to transfer selected items. So these are the items which I have selected from the catalog. Now I'm going to go ahead and select my bidders. These are my existing suppliers, so they are already present in the system. I'm going to select these two as my bidders. I'm going to go next to review. So once I'm sure that these are the two bidders I want quotations from and for these items, I can go ahead and save it. The system generates an RFQ ID and then I can send this to bidders. I hit OK. Once I'm done with everything, I'm going to go ahead and close it. So I'm there on the RFQ page. I'm going to go ahead and show all RFQs and hit go. So this is the RFQ which I just created. I can see two bidders and no quotes received. Now let's assume that I am one of the suppliers. So I'm going to create a quote on the behalf of a supplier. So let me be supplier number 1. Go next. So these are the general information. I go ahead and enter price. Okay, now let me select price for these items. Say 100 Australian dollars for table webcam and then. So once I'm done with this, I go next to review. Once I'm done reviewing, I can save and then I submit. Once I'm back to this page, I'm going to go and hit the refresh button. So see the status changes, that quote received 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another quote for number 2 supplier. Now here I'm going to put different price. Review, save and submit. I close it. Now again when I refresh it, I can see 2 quotes received. Now I can go ahead and compare my quotes if I wish to. I can see that there are 3 items which are there for both the bidders. Here I can actually compare that what are the price bidders have quoted for the same product. So since this is something which I like, I'm going to go ahead and award this bidder. The system generates two messages stating that my entries have been saved and a quote ID 42 has been awarded. So I close it. Now to understand or see the entire process flow, I just click onto my RFQ ID, view all, document flow, and I can see the entire process flow here. I mean, this is the request for quotation. These are the two supplier codes and the awarded one which created a purchasing contract. So this is how you can create an RFQ and then convert it to a purchasing contract. If you need more help on this, we can go to Help Center. Just type RFQ quick guide and you can have all the details about RFQs and codes. So let's just go to the purchasing contract. The status is in preparation as we are yet to release the contract. We'll just go to Edit, Items. So here we can see that these are the items which were there in the RFQ. Now we'll just go ahead and put the product IDs for all the three items. Now since these were the products which were already there in the system, the price did default. We are going to check if everything is constant with our contract. The system generates a message stating that my contract is complete without any error. So I'm going to release it now. So it comes for an approval once my contract is released. So I go to Sourcing and Contracting, Contracts, All Contracts to see the status. To see who my approver is, I go to Contract, View All, Approval, and I can see that who's my approver. So if you have the access, you can log in as the approver and then approve your contract. So once my contract is approved, it automatically, the status changes to released. And now my contract is ready and I can go ahead and create a purchase order for it. Now to create a purchase order with this contract, I'll go to Purchase Requests and Orders and the New Purchase Order. I'm going to do a view all so that I have access to all my tabs. I'm going to put in my supplier ID. I'm going to go to Source of Supply to pull in my contract. I'm going to repeat the same for all the three items. Now once I'm done with this, I'm going to put a ship to location and then the quantity. And I'm going to repeat the same for all the three material. Now once I'm done with the ship to location and the quantity, I'll go ahead and do the account assignment for all the three items. So once I finish doing it, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick check to see if my purchase order is consistent. So once the check completes, the system generates a message stating that the check is complete and the purchase order contains no error. Now I can go ahead and order. So once I order it, the system generates a message stating that the purchase order ID is already been sent to the supplier by email. Now I can go ahead and create a goods and services receipt. I go to purchase orders to be delivered. So this is the purchase order ID I just created. I'm going to go ahead and create a new goods and services receipt. Now once I see everything is okay with my goods and services receipt, I can go ahead and post it. Once I post it, the system again generates a message stating that goods and services receipt has been posted and this is going to be my ID. Now let's assume that is all set to be invoiced. So to do that, we'll go and invoice our supplier. We will go to Supplier Invoice, Invoice Entry, all orders to be invoiced. So we can already see our order ID here. We're going to select this and we are going to go ahead and do a new invoice. So the form is auto-filled as the entire data has been copied from the preceding documents. So here all we need to do is just put an external document ID. You have to put in an invoice date. Do a quick check to see if everything is in place. So the check is complete and my document contains no error. So my document is ready for posting now, as the status says. I go ahead and post my invoice. Once the invoice is posted, the system generates an ID. Once I refresh the page and select all orders here, I can see my order ID and my invoicing status changes from not invoiced to invoiced. So once I go back to my purchase order, I see the status as finished and I can see the entire process flow ending with the supplier invoice. Now let's go ahead and pay our supplier. We are at payables. So this is the invoice which we created last and we need to pay this. Since I chose pay by check, I have to put a check number here. Check for the amount I'm paying. And that's all I have to do. I'll just go ahead and post now. Once my document is posted, the system generates post ID. So for a quick recap, in this session we have seen how we have created a RFQ from an existing item catalog. We created 2 quotations. We have compared our quotes and the winning quote has resulted in a purchasing contract. Then we created a purchase order, then a good receipt. We have created an invoice and then finally the payment. Business by Design is built to manage all aspects of your organization. You can implement the complete solution now or begin with the starter package and expand the solution later. Now let's take a look at the value proposition. Maintain a central database of supplier and product information helps you negotiate better prices and manage multiple supplier contracts. It streamlines your company's purchasing activities, provide real-time information to your buyers so they can negotiate better prices for your company. ByDesign also empowers people with real-time analytics and self-service procurement capabilities. Adapts to your business needs, on-demand, powerful cloud-based solution ready to run when you are. We in Idelico provide a unique combination of SAP expertise and business knowledge in a variety of industries. With our end-to-end implementation services and required long-term end-user support, we can ensure your return on investment and process embedment within your organization. We also provide business process outsourcing for support process such as marketing, accounting, and payroll, allowing your company to focus on its core business without increasing overhead. This concludes our session. Please feel free to revert back for any question in the mentioned email ID. Thank you for your time and attention.